I told myself, Caleb, what do you want to do? And my answer was, I want to be an influence so that I can do good for people.
Hello everyone, my name is Christine and welcome to the Connecting Entrepreneur Show. Today we have our guest, Caleb.
Thanks, Christine. Hi, I'm Caleb and I'm the brand coach. And what I do is I help sales and business leaders to better connect so that they can influence people.
So Caleb, can you please tell us more about your business?
Sure. So I'm the brand coach, and what I do is I help entrepreneurs, I help sales leaders, I help business leaders to grow that influence, and social media is my playground to help them achieve that. But beyond that, I also work on how they present themselves offline and how they create a very powerful and engaging message to their audience.
So Caleb, how did the idea of this business come about?
The idea came about as a pure fluke. Right? So what happened was that I was an image consultant for 2 years, but I did so badly that I only earned $1,000 over 2 years. So it was November 2017, my CPF had run dry, my wife was a sole breadwinner, I was ironing clothes, I was vacuuming the floor on a daily basis, and I told myself I need to quit. So I need to quit my business and apply for a full-time job because it was the responsible thing to do. Right, so what I did was I redid my resume, I reapplied for jobs to go back into the corporate world. The only thing is that every resume I sent out, I had 0 replies. At that point in time, it was a very harsh realization because I was 31 years old, I got a degree holder, and I got 4.5 years of corporate experience. But at that moment in December, I realized that I was not hireable anymore. Right, so I had no choice but to continue my business. If you ask me the turning point, right, it was in January 2018. I went for this evening workshop called Super Brand Me, and this trainer called Eugene Sia, he says, Caleb, what do you do? So I said, I'm an image consultant, and he asked me to elaborate further. And after hearing me elaborate, right, he says, Caleb, you are not an image consultant, you are a perception strategist. You help people manage their own perception. And the moment he said that, right, it was like as though your eyes opened for the first time, then you see the light. It's as though I could see so much more possibilities that I never once saw because he changed the words to describe me, right? So after thinking about a few hours, I realized, okay, you know what, I'm going to try. Just going to try. And I was running my paid ads as per usual, my image consulting paid ads. I met my next few prospects, and when they heard branding, they got really interested. Then I closed them. So it was just really by fluke. I was at one workshop in the middle of January 2018. A month after I decided to quit everything, that was my break.
What are the most challenging experience you had?
Wow. There were a lot of challenges, if you ask me. But if I had to really pick one, it was this one question I couldn't answer for a long time. There are so many competitors out there. How on earth do I stand out? Not just how do I stand out, is they have more experience than me, they have more testimonials than me, they got more education in the niche than me. How do I even stand a chance against them? That was the biggest challenge I had to face. And until I found a way to get around that, my business was very, very stagnant. Yeah, so that was the biggest challenge I faced, having to stand out in a in a world where information is like an avalanche. It's an onslaught of information. So that was the biggest challenge that I personally faced early on in my business. Yeah.
Well, I think with the challenges that you face, I'm sure you have something that is very fulfilling. So what is the greatest achievement you have in your business?
Wow. So I've been very blessed, I haven't been doing this for a long time, but in this very short period of just under 2 years, I've had clients who are lawyers, who are the top executive coaches in the world. I've had clients who are millionaires, serial business owners, or if not, they're salespeople who earn 6 figures. These are my type of clients. I've been very blessed to have them. Right. On top of that, I've also working on a collaboration project with a subsidiary of the Alibaba Group, and these are all fun and good. It makes the portfolio look very good on the upfront. But if you ask me, right, what is the most significant moment is when I can influence people to do good, right? So for example, I still recall when I left my job. I left my job because I was very, very bad at it. And when I left my job, I told myself, Caleb, what do you want to do? And my answer was, I want to be an influence so that I can do good for people. I'm somebody who can volunteer 2 weeks of my time, take annual leave, and go to a village and teach English to the 5 kids. I'm someone who can do it for free, right? And I realized that if I want, why not be somebody who plans the whole event and I impact 100 kids rather than just 5 kids, right? So building this community, building this influence over the past 2 years has allowed me to achieve that. I think there was a period of time where one person was a diver and he goes underwater to repair ships and he passed away during a workplace accident, right? And he left behind a wife, 2 kids, and 8 months in the womb baby, right? And just a simple Facebook post, I could raise almost $10,000 in less than a week. Yeah, another time I was also helping this gentleman with cerebral palsy, right? And he was selling books for his own books for donation and selling at about $10 or $20 a book, right? I told him, give me some books, I was selling for $50 to $100 to $200 a book, right? And that gave him about $7,000 in less than a week as well. So to me, it is influence that allows you to achieve that. To me, that is the most significant times that I felt this is business worth doing. Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Bash the Bowl segment. So Caleb, you have to choose one.
Anyone, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, here goes. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, so this is a great question. The question is, Christine, what is your dream job?
My dream job would be, let me see. Yay. Okay, I am a people person. I like to connect with people. So I felt that the job that I have to in my dream or goal should be connecting with people. So my passion now, I think I want to focus on is to connect with women and mummies, to empower them to actually step forward to overcome all the challenges they have through a platform where we can provide them support with.
All right, Christine, here you go.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right. Something interesting we might not know about you is?
Ooh. When I was 14 years old, I wanted to be a social worker.
Oh, cool.
Yes. It was a dream I had, but I just never fulfilled it in the end.
Okay.
I was inspired by 2 people. My mom, who's also a social worker, and one of my church mentors, and he was a PSC scholar in the social work industry. So I think being around them and there's a natural empathy, it just became a very odd dream for a 14-year-old boy to have.
So Caleb, I'm going to give you this whiteboard and a pen. Can you please write down one value that you think an entrepreneur should have?
Okay, let's see. Okay, here it is.
So why do you choose this word?
It's a very, very personal word for me. People look at me today, right? They think I can speak well, I'm very tall. They think that I'm very expressive in conveying my message. What many do not know is that I've had many, many years of failure prior to my 30s, right? In growing up, I was so skinny that I hated my body. In the army, I was so bad in my command role that I was demoted in the army, right? When I joined the corporate world, I was so bad in my job that one colleague once shouted at me for taking tissue when I spilled some soup on my shirt over lunch. That colleague looked down upon me my entire 4.5 years in my job because I was so bad, right? And then when I started my business, I couldn't get any clients for the first 2 years, right? So when it comes to feeling insignificant, that was much of my life growing up. I think as a result of that, when I look at people who are going through tough times, there's also a little bit of compassion because I know what it's like to feel like you're nothing. And that's why I do my business is such that how do I help people not just be influential, but how can they be significant through the influence that they receive as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, what is your one-liner that you could use to describe your business?
Well, in one-liner, what I would say is that I help the top sales and business leaders to connect better so that they can influence.
Well, we have come to the end of this episode, and thank you so much for watching. I also want to thank Caleb for being here with us, and stay tuned for our next episode.